So now that we have everything lined up and we pretty much like how we have it set up, let's start looking at a way we can actually make this look a little bit more cinematic. Go layer, new, we're gonna add a new solid. And let's make the solid like an orange type of color. Like, make it bright. Okay, Amelia, you just pooted. My dog just pooted. You pooted! You pootin'!
Stupid dog!
Cool. Boop. Got that in there. Now one thing that we can do is drop the opacity of this for a second. Let's drop it. We're gonna do 0. Now it's still on there, we just turned the opacity down, and this is why. Because we need to mask out around the front of the gun. Because it's metal, and what happens when you hold a light up to metal, it reflects. So that's what we're going to be doing. We're going to be simulating a muzzle flash reflection off of the gun. So pretty simple stuff, takes a little time, but all you're gonna do is once that muzzle flash goes off right there, we're gonna start masking around the gun. So just around the area. I'ma sloppily do this. Sloppily is that word? Sloppily. I'm just gonna do this. Now you could take time to make it perfect, but you know, if you just wanna, I like to do multiple layers. So you can do like a layer for the front of the gun, then you could do a layer for the fingers, then, you know, for everything that's facing away from it, you can do it like that. So, all right, so now that we got that on there, one thing we're gonna have to do is press MM, and we're gonna, well, we could turn our opacity up first, so press T, just so that way you can see it. And let's put it at 100 just so we can see what's happening. We'll take our layer and put it over top of the gun layer. And then once we do that, let's hide it for a second. So that's what it looks like. Looks pretty cool, don't it? No, I'm just joking. Anyways, so what you do is we're gonna take our feather tool. You can press F or you can press MM and you'll see it. And mask feather, and we're gonna feather it out. So when I hide it, it looks something similar to this. Cool. Now, once we do that, we're gonna go and change our mode to screen. What we're gonna do is we're gonna go to opacity, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna keyframe the opacity. So it's gonna go from 0 to a flash to back down to 0. It takes a little bit of work, but the more work you put into it, the better it comes out. Right now, I'm just doing a tutorial, so, you know, picture if we were like really putting time into this. See, all it is just fine tuning, you know. Like I said, there's no right or wrong way. It's just fine tuning. Cause we all, you know, we just like to be creative. So, you know, I know there's a lot of gun enthusiasts saying like, oh no, that's wrong. It's not the way that it looks, but you know. Who cares? You know, it's just we're having fun right now. We're filmmakers, you know. We're visual effect artists. We're, you know, just having fun with it right now. All right, cool. So now that we have that lined up, let's go into our solid settings. We're going to kind of make this more of like a. Let's just darken it and let's make it a little bit more lighter. About right there. There we go. See, that's better. See, now that kind of matches a little bit. All right, sweet. So now let's see what we got. Look good. Looks good. Now, not done yet. So now what we got to do now is the same exact thing, but for the front of the hands. We can even do maybe a little bit of like the arms or the face or the chest or whatever, anything else like that, just to kind of give it that illusion that, you know, this flash is going off right in front of your character. So a lot better. All right. Now, time to start making this look like a movie. First thing that we need to do is we need to color correct our actor because our actor don't blend with our background. So one thing that we can do is go to the curves adjustment, and one thing, like I said before, is just a matter of just making sure that it's you gotta find, you know what I'm saying, you gotta do it the way that you know, it's gonna be whichever way that you feel as if it's right, you know. So you know, just fine tune it. You know, we might actually put a little contrast in them, you know, darken them up a little bit, not too much. And then I might go to green channel. Actually, might do thing is like this area. Now, what I would do if it was me, I would go to the extent of pretty much just like masking out certain areas, like my hair. You see, my hair's kind of washed out, but the blacks down here is like pretty crushed. And even look from the background, what I would probably do is do another mask of my head and color correct that separately. But for the sake of this tutorial, you know, I think that looks pretty good. New, we're gonna layer, new, solid, add a black solid to this. And now we have the black solid. We're going to go to our ellipse tool, go in the middle and press control, hold down control, and then you can kind of, you know, you're gonna go down to your mask and we're gonna change the mode to subtract, MM, and we're gonna feather this out. There we go. I like that right there. That looks pretty good. I like that. Save your project. Please make sure you always save your project because if not, one thing I do not like about After Effects is if it closes, you're screwed. There is ways that you can have it auto save though, but if it does close, brother, oh god, tough booby. All right, cool. So now we got that. Let's go ahead and pre-compose this entire layer. And we're going to go ahead and do our slow motion. Control Shift C, pre-compose, move our attributes to new composition. Yes. Sweet. Now that we have everything in, let's go to composition settings. We want to keep our frame rate at 59.94. Time code, duration, we want to change. We want the duration to be, let's just make it even 10 seconds. Right, so we got our 10 seconds. So what that did is just add a little bit more time at the end. So now we can add time remapping. So this is pretty much what the time remapping is going to do. Now we can take and move it around, find the spot where we want to do the slow motion. So let's say maybe it's like, maybe it's right here. So we like that point right there, right? So what I like to do is I like to kind of like, in a sense, do like more of like a ramp. So what happens is you can take and move the keyframe forward so it basically kind of speeds into it. So in a sense, let's drop this down to like half red so that we can move a little bit faster. So it'll go and then it'll go slow. And then what we're going to do is take the last keyframe and we're going to drag this out a bit. So now what we have will look something like this. All right, let me see. And there you have it, everybody. How to incorporate live action footage with elements to create a realistic gunfire for your videos. And there you have it. Not really much to it. Just got to keep in mind that it's more about being creative when you're doing projects like this. Go with what you feel. You know, if you see something that you want to add into it, by all means, go ahead and do it. It's about being creative. With projects like this, I don't really like to say that there's a wrong way to go about things, or there's, you know what I'm saying? It's whatever you feel. So you got to do it the way that you want it, you know? You got to do it the way that you like it, you know? If you guys are loving the content, man, please be sure to click that subscribe button and smash, smush, step on, slap, smash that like button, man. Also be sure to click the bell right next to it so that way you can get all updates of what we have going on with the channel, man. We have a lot of different things that we're working on right now, and I'm working on putting together an action pack for you guys so that way you can get elements like what we used in this project and use it for your own project. So you guys gotta stay locked, you gotta stay tuned. I'm gonna be giving out some freebies. We also have our t-shirts up on our website. If you're interested in getting any of our Ready Set Shoot t-shirts, please be sure to visit our website, www.yourdlrsolutions.com. Check out the website, man. We have tons of projects up on there. And also be sure to follow me, DBeatSpeed, on Instagram and Facebook at DBeatSpeed. I follow back. I love following back. So if you follow me, I follow back. I support everyone. So I'm your host, DBeatSpeed. Stay creative, everybody. Till next time, ready, set, shoot.